Here's the most simple way to create, market, and sell your ebook and make over $1,000 a month without needing a big audience. And if you have 0 followers, then this video is especially for you, so make sure that you keep watching. This video is going to be broken down into 4 simple steps: picking a profitable ebook idea, setting up your store, marketing and selling your ebook, and then creating your ebook. This is a very uncommon way of doing it against what every other YouTube is saying right now, but it saves you a lot of time and effort without having to create your ebook up front, and you can literally start getting sales before you even create anything. If you are currently working on an ebook, let me know down below what your niche is and what is your ebook idea, and we'll have a chat in the comments. So let's get right into step number 1. Picking a profitable ebook idea. You see, where you guys mess up is that you try to create an ebook off of passion. And I understand you want to change the world. You want to inspire people and tell your story and help them achieve the same transformation that you have. But at the end of the day, building a business and making a profit is all about your customer. So you need to think about the problems that they're having in their life and compare it to what you've been through and find the intersection between where you can provide value and give them insight or steps on how you were able to get a transformation that they want. And I know that sounds a little bit like, it sounds like a lot, but here's how to break it down. You see, you want to go through other creators inside of your niche and find what they are already selling. You need to go find what ebooks are already bringing in profit. The goal here is to not try to come up with anything just out of passion, because your ideal customer, your ideal avatar, when you go to sell them your ebook and tell them what it's about and how it helps them, you want to make sure that it is something that they're actually looking for. So the step that I would recommend here is that for you to go through TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and look up your favorite creators or look up creators in your niche that is doing well. So if I was in the fitness industry, I'm going to look at any other creators who are selling ebooks, courses, communities, coaching, and I'm looking at the topics of exactly how they help their ideal customers get to A to B. For example, if I was in the credit niche, I'd look at other creators who are selling ebooks and see what their topics are about. If maybe they might be about how to increase your score by 45 points in the next 90 days, or how to increase your score so that you can get your first car loan, or how to gain 50 points with a secured credit card. Whatever the case may be, I would look at what those creators are selling, and that would be a glimpse on what my ebook idea should be about. Now, I'm not starting from a position where I'm just thinking of random ideas and trying to come up with something that people may or may not want. I'm using literal research to back my idea before I even build it. You see, most people would tell you to create your ebook now. List out all your ideas on ChatGPT and have it create 1,000 page ebook, and then go put it into Canva, paste it, set up your store, and boom, right? But instead of doing that, I want you to set up your store now. So you're going to create the design on Canva for your ebook. So you're going to go on Canva, you're going to look up templates, what covers you would like, and then you're going to go and make a Stan Store account. I recommend Stan Store because it's very simple to use, it's very user friendly, and it's not that many steps. If you're not good with tech, the Stan Store is 100% my recommendation to you. There are others out there like Beacons that are free, but in my opinion, Beacons is more complicated. It's a little bit more complicated to understand, and there's like a big learning curve for Beacons. Stan Store is literally like click, drop, save, publish. Like, it's that simple. So now that your Stan Store is set up, you're going to create your landing page, and inside of your landing page, you're just going to put what your product is about, the transformation that it helps people get. You're not going to be like, oh, there's 1,000 different guides in here and 500 ideas for this and 2,000 templates. No, you're going to talk about the transformation, how you get your customer from A to B. This is going to help them when they go onto your landing page to understand that you are helping them solve a problem in their life. You're not just throwing a bunch of tactics and a bunch of strategies at them. You're helping them get from A to B. So for example, if I was in the content space, right, where I teach people how to build a personal brand, my landing page would show you how I was able to build a personal brand from 0 to X. The goal here is to connect them from where they are now to where you are going to take them. This is what will allow them to know that this ebook is exactly for me, for at my current stage and where I'm trying to get to. So now the next step is to start marketing and selling your ebook. Yes, it is scary. You don't want to create content. You don't want to show your face. But the fastest way to make money online, and I know a lot of you guys ask, what's the fastest way? What's the quickest way? This is not Pinterest or Etsy that take a little bit more time. You can literally just set up your Instagram or your TikTok today and start making content. And here's what you're going to make your content about. You're going to talk about your journey. So, and just like we said earlier, how you found profitable ideas from looking at other creators, you're also going to research what other creators are creating content around. Are they talking about their journey with solving X problem? Are they talking about 5 tips that help them to improve their sleep, or just as an example, or maybe 2 hacks to improve your credit within 60 days and get approved for an apartment? What are the specific topics that they are talking about within your niche? From here, you're going to see what's working well. You're going to compare it to other creators and see what are people talking about. What do people or customers in my specific niche that I provide value in, what do they like to see? What type of content do they like to consume? What is doing well for everyone else? And that is where you're going to base your first topics about, your first content ideas about. You're literally just going to set up your phone and start recording. Talk to the camera. The goal here is to get your first pieces of post out into the world. You're going to continue to learn and iterate based off what is working well for you. You're going to just try different topics that are already working within your niche. Just how you found a profitable idea, like I talked about earlier, that is already proven, your content is also the same. You're going to continue to use proven ideas, proven topics, and make videos around them. This allows you to start building your social presence from ideas that are already working, and you don't have to try to stress yourself or strain your mind trying to look for profitable ideas and what to do and what to talk about. You're literally just going to talk about your journey, talk about the lessons that you learned, talk about the books that you've read, talk about the things that have helped you along your way. Did you meet someone new? Did someone introduce you into the niche that you're in now? What happened during those times of you trying to solve the specific problem that your ebook is about? What did you learn? What did you go through? What were the hard things that you had to overcome? What did you have to change in your life? Those are all things that you're going to make content around. And basically what happens is, as you continue to build up your social resume, people are going to start to flock to your account. And that is the golden moment. You see, when people start coming to you because they know that you solve a specific problem and you went through a similar journey that they are already on or currently going through or planning to go into, you start to build trust with them. And trust is the thing that you need in order to make sales, because now I'm going through your content and I'm looking at, oh, wow, you had this big obstacle that I didn't even know. You taught me something that would have saved me hours and hours of time, and they're starting to build trust with you. What I want you to do here is super simple. Each person that likes, comments, or engages with your post in any way, shape, or form, you're going to send them a DM and have a conversation with them. And this isn't some weird sales strategy or weird sales tactic. All you're going to do is ask them, what are they struggling with? What are you currently going through in your life? What are you looking for? Are you looking for an ebook? Are you looking for a community? What is your goal? Literally treat them as if you're talking to them in person. Where a lot of you guys mess up at is that you try to DM and talk to people and treat them like they're online. But in reality, you're talking to someone who is a real person. You're not just talking to a metal box, right? You're not just talking to your phone. You're talking to someone on the other side of it. So you have to structure and cater to that person in a way that you would even if you met them in person. If you was having a conversation with a person that you met on the street, would you have manners? Would you ask them? Would you give them a compliment? Ask them how their day was. Ask them what's going on in their life before you introduce what you do, how you help, what you've been through. It is the same way. So from there, you start to collect information and you collect data from your customers. You start to speak to them directly, and you understand, like, oh, wow, people are actually having problem with. For example, if I was in the, let's say, Airbnb niche, I'd be like, oh my gosh, people are actually having a problem with knowing how to buy furniture for the Airbnb. That is what a lot of people are looking for, or people are asking how should they price it, right? And the more that you start to recognize these patterns, you start to realize that, okay, these people, I have talked to, let's say 10 people, and 9 of them have had the same exact issue. That is where you get to like understand more about, okay, I know exactly what I need to put inside of this ebook. I know exactly what they're struggling with. So what happens now is that as you have those conversations with them, what you're going to do is ask them, what are you currently looking for? Are you looking for an ebook? Do you just want content? Are you looking for a community? Are you looking for coaching? Like, what is your goal with being on my page? What is your goal with following me? You're just trying to get a scope of if they want to take the next action, if they're ready for the next step. And majority of people will say that they just here for the content, but you will have those few as you continue to post, get more people liking, engaging, and sending DMs that say, hey, yeah, I'm looking for, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for an ebook, or I'm looking for a community. I'm looking for a quick guide. And that is what will allow you to know that people actually, there's already demand for what you're creating or the ebook that you're making. But then it's like, okay, when do I actually make money? Where do the sales come from? So the sales will come from, number one, having the link in your bio. So soon as, remember how earlier we talked about setting up your store, you're going to put that same link in your bio. As you continue to build your social presence, as more and more people come to your profile, you'll start to get more views and more visits on your store. That is where a lot of your sales will come from. But then the second part is sending DMs. So as you speak to people and as you talk to them and see what they're dealing with, what problems they're having, and you ask them, like, genuinely, what do you want to do? You'll have the window of opportunity to say, hey, I'm creating an ebook. I have a pre-sale going on right now. If you would like to, here is the pre-sale link to purchase before the price goes up. And naturally, some people will not want to. Some people will ignore you, but you will also have those people who can't wait to buy your ebook. And this is the key to getting paid before you even create the ebook. Then the next question arises. Okay, I set up my store. I started marketing. People are buying my ebook, but I haven't created it yet. What do I do now? Where a lot of you guys mess up at is that you created the ebook as the very first step, as the very first to second step, and you don't even know if people want it yet. But in this case, now you know people actually want your ebook and they have already purchased it. You now have every incentive to go and create that ebook, especially because you know that people have already paid you their hard-earned money before you even created the product. So here's the most simple way to create a profitable ebook that not only people want, but also gets them their transformation to keep them coming back and wanting more out of whatever product you launch in the future. So I like to think of ebooks as, stop trying to just put 1,000 words into a Canva template and be like, oh my gosh, I created the best ebook ever. That is not how it works, and that is not how people consume information. If you think for a second how people actually consume information, nobody reads 1,000-word ebook. Majority of people don't even finish video courses. There's a study out there that's like, I think 90% of people never finish a full course that they pay for. So why would it be any different for an ebook that is written and people have to spend their time reading like 10 chapters that you've created? When people buy ebooks, there's a very high likelihood that a lot of them don't even read it. They just buy it in the moment because they're trying to scratch an itch and never end up opening it. So how do you create an ebook that people actually read, use, and get a result out of? What I want you to do is create a half ebook, half workbook. It is a step-by-step roadmap. Instead of them just consuming information, right, as they already do on social media, what you're going to do is break down the 5 steps that they need to get from A to B. So whatever your niche you're in, whatever you're helping people with, break down what are those 5 steps that you took or that they need to take in order to get from their transformation from A to B. And that is where you're going to base your ebook off of. Here's the cool thing. So what I want you to do is include a workbook or worksheet within each chapter. So it's not just, think of it like this. As you were solving your own problem in your life, there are things that you had to go through. Maybe you had to journal. Maybe you had to ask yourself a few hard questions. Maybe you had to apply for a program. Maybe you had to fill out a sheet. So with every step that you took, there's something that went along with it. For example, if you're teaching someone content, right, you might have your first chapter talking about how to find your ideal avatar. But then if you include a worksheet that says, here are the questions that you need to ask yourself about your avatar so that you can be clear on them, they'll not only consume the information, but they also have a worksheet to go along with it and fill out. So when you do this for each chapter, it's not just consuming information, it's also interactive and fun to consume and go along with. So within each section, I want you to include a worksheet. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be super thought out. It could be 5 questions. It could be a template that you use. It could be a guide that you use that allows you to take the section that they just learned and really break it down into interactive lesson. It's just like when you're in school, your teacher would teach on the board, and then afterwards you'd have a quiz, or afterwards you'd have a worksheet that you have to fill out. It is the same concept. And that is literally how you create an ebook that people actually want to buy. And not only do they buy it, but they come back and be like, oh my gosh, I love this. It helped me get a transformation, or broke it down super simply and super clearly, where I am interested in whatever else you have to put out or whatever other product that you are creating. We've literally had people go through our ebook and be like, this is the best thing that I've ever used in my entire life, because it has broken it down so simply and allowed me to take action and actually get the result of what I was looking for. That is the trick. So when you break down your ebook and your structure, you already have your Canva template design. Talk about how you get the transformation in the intro, and then talk about why it is important and why it works. Include your 5 steps to getting that transformation, and that is where you will have an ebook that people love. Now, all you have to do is just send it to the people who purchased your pre-sale, continue to create and content and build your social presence, and you will not only have customers that love you, but you'll have customers that want to continue to buy more and more products from you. So let me know down below if you guys would like a step-by-step video of me showing you exactly how to do this, how to set it up, how to set up your store, literally from A to Z. So let me know down in the comments. Comment free course down below if you guys would like me to make that video.